Welcome to Visual Basic. We're going to take a look at 5.1, create that program. The good news is this is a modification, as you can see, of 4.6. And 4.6 assignment was on your previous video, so you would most definitely want to have seen and worked with 4.6 to move forward. But because it's a modification, I want to talk about transferring or copying files. So here is our 4.6 folder right here, which I've created a 5.1 for video, but my 4.6 file has everything I need in there from 4.6. And the temptation is maybe just to copy this .sln, which starts the program, opens the program for us normally, but you have to copy really the whole folder. So I'm going to Control-C and take that whole folder, and then into 5.1 for video, I'm going to paste it, and it's going to put everything I've got in there. As you can see, it's working hard. The one thing I'm not going to do, I'm not going to change the folder name 4.6 to call it 5.1. I'm going to make some indication of that on my program, but I'm just going to keep saving this thing into here, and it's going to go ahead and save in there as 4.6 SLN, even though it's in our 5.1 file. There's a whole lot of reasons why I'm not doing that. Take it on faith. It's not something, it can end up causing big problems if you don't do everything right, and it's really not important that we cover that at this time. So it's in there, and back to 5.1. So chapter 5 is about using menu tools or menu bars up at the top, and you have little drop down bars like these guys up here on my Word document are just little menu items as I go through these, and we're going to be able to create those. And sometimes from a menu you get other menu options available as well. So that's what this is really about. You get some just little drop down menus. So we're going to have exactly the same information and data, and for the most part code, but we're going to have in our menu bar, we're going to have a file drop down where we instead of our button that we used before, we're going to hit calculate pay in that file menu. Our summary is going to be there. We're going to exit there. Within edit, we're going to have our clear. You may recall on 4.6 we had a clear button. There's a clear all as well, but I'm going to leave that. They don't tell us to do it here, so we're going to leave that as a regular button on the form. We're going to be able to adjust the font and to some degree the colors, and we're going to have another drop-down menu. But really everything else remains the same. And again, you can look through your book. Your book contains this information, but let's go ahead and get started here. So I'm going to go File, Open. Actually, a lot of times we'd be new, but I'm going to open, and I'm going to have to track this thing down into my 2015-16 Visual Basic, and I want, mine is located in here, and here's my 5.1 for video, my 4.6, so it's pretty deep. Now I can open this and not worry about any kind of extensions, and we should be good to go editing this guy. All right, let's take a look at our form. So on our form, hopefully it all comes back to you. This calculate button is going to get replaced. This summary button is going to get replaced. This clear button is going to get replaced. Those are going to be gone. Right now, calculate is tied into all of this code in here, as you may recall. I'm going to use that code again. That's the good news. I don't have to retype that. But I'm going to do it with a menu strip. So I'm going to go to Menus, Toolbars. I'm going to go to a menu strip and try to drop that on here. And it just puts it below, but it's got a menu strip up here for me. And the items that we want up there are File. And then as soon as I start typing in there, I've got an option for another item. And the first one is going to be Calculate Pay, and I'm going to make C a shortcut. So ampersand, calculate. Ampersands work here just like they do. You can notice the little underline there. Summary is going to be here. Ampersand summary. And clear is going, or exit is going to be as well. E ampersand exit. So all of those shortcuts are in place. And then I can just type another item in. The next item that we're going to have is edit. I'm going to go ampersand, and you don't have to have the ampersands in there, but it's oftentimes a nice consideration. If somebody's going to be editing and changing fonts and colors for whatever reason, often they would probably appreciate that there. The first choice in our edit is, I've got to remember this, we've got font, yes, font or clear, and I enter that one. Now, right here, you don't have to do this, but my next two things that I'm going to go ahead and put in here are going to be font and color, and those two kind of go together. And oftentimes, like whether it's you're working in a Word document or something, you might see a little separator line. Doesn't have to be there to make the program work. Let's see here, we will have font, where we can go in and adjust the font. And right here, we will have color, where we can go in and adjust lots of things we can do with color, but we're actually going to adjust the font color of these and attempt to adjust the font color of these boxes. We'll just see that we might have some challenges there. Okay, and finally on the tool strip menu, we're going to just have help, and all we're going to have in there is we're just going to end up calling a message box that's going to, did I spell that wrong? I spelled that wrong. It's very small print. I'm going to spell it wrong again if I'm not careful. I didn't want that. I want it up here. Here we go. Let's go back out of that. And I'm going to take care of this one right here first. Help. This is going to be about. We're going to look at about, which could be another form, but there we go. Help. Okay. So our help button has about. Now, back to this edit. Font and color. In order to do that, you think, wow, how can I adjust the font? There's ways to do it programmatically, but there's ways that pull up some menu items for us in our dialogues. And we've got a color dialog that we're going to drop on. Color dialog 1, you don't need to rename that. And a font dialog that we're going to drop on. And those are going to be helpful to us in our program. Okay, let's get to the calculate button. So the calculate button, when I click this, what I want to have is exactly the same thing that happened before when I click that. Good news, I've got that code. So I'm going to double click calculate. Here's my calculate tool strip menu. I'm going to go find my calculate button, and I'm just going to take all of this stuff. Dare I just Control X here? I'm going to do it. Control X. And I'm going to come down here. It's called my Hulp tool strip menu. That's my Hulp. Let's see. Oh, because I renamed it. Calculate. Calculate right here. Here we go. So in the calculate button, I've just transferred everything that I had before. And believe it or not, let's give that a shot right now. Let's take a look. Nope, got build errors. Let's take a look. Did I miss something? Oh, I missed something. Very end if, at the very end of my copy paste. I'll bet you saw that. All right, let's try that again. Success. So as you recall, our summary button was disabled. I go ahead and enter a name. I enter a number of pieces produced. I calculate. And we don't have anything happen now because I took that out. Remember? But if I go up here, calculate, we've got it. And that is a good calculation for us. So I like what I've got there. Seems to be working pretty well. So I'm going to close that out, and let's jump to summary. Double click summary. Here's my summary tool strip. Here's my button that was handling summary. I'm going to Control X that. Control V here. So if I run this, I enter some information, I enter 560 pieces, I calculate that, I go to summary, nothing, I go to file, summary, we've got it, 336. I go to clear, it still works right now, and I can just test my summary. This guy was a real slacker, only created 4 pieces. Calculate doesn't work. Calculate works. Oh, name field missing. That still works. That's nice. All of that was brought forward from the previous program, and now my summary should be adjusted to total amount. Total pay is going to be 338, 336 and 2. Doesn't work there. Does work here. Seems like we're in pretty good shape in that. So, boy, what a nice way to learn to do tool menu strips on a program that has some things going on without having to do a whole lot of the code over. All right, let's close out. Let's see what else we got. So we've got our exit button. I think is the clear on edit? Yeah, clear's on edit. So exit button. I'm going to double click exit button. All I'm going to do is type in end. I am very confident that will work, but let's try it. File, exit. Very good. Let's go to clear. Double click clear. Here's my clear button, my clear menu strip item, but I think I have a clear button out here. Dare I? Control X, my clear. Oh, that's clear all. Control Z. Here's my clear. Which, by the way, as you might recall from the 4.6 button, I commented some things out because I initially handled it incorrectly. Down to my clear, Control V. So if you want to clean that up a little bit, those aren't really doing anything anymore. Okay. And I do want to clean it up just a little bit. Okay, so let's check this. Start. Need a name, need some pieces, need to calculate, need to clear, and we got it cleared. And that's the part that we're supposed to actually clear, not the amount earned at that time, as designated by the 4.6 assignment. And the clear all button we're going to keep, although we could create another clear all button for that. Should give us a warning there. Did I miss something with my clear all? Let's see what we got here. The clear all button is attached to the clear. Now let's so what's this one? Is this the clear all? Button calculate. Interesting. That's the clear. That one's attached to the clear all. That's interesting. I'm not sure how I did that, but let's go ahead and do this. We'll stop it. Let's check something real quick. I'll get through one of these sometime without, but this guy right now seems to be attached. Okay, here's button clear. I might have just had some lag. Here's button clear all. I think I just had some late computer lag, so we're going to try this again. If so, I can claim that wasn't my mistake. That'd be nice. Calculate. Nope. File. Calculate, yep. Summary, nope. File, summary, yep. Clear all, cleared all. Now, should there be some type of a warning in there? I believe so. So we're going to end up addressing that. Let's go in and take a look at that. The button clear all. In the previous program, we had a warning here for the user, and I'm going to allow you to go back in your 4.6 assignment. You should have that warning in here that was in the clear all. And when you copy and paste that in, there'll be a message box that'll say, you know, are you certain you want to clear all? Because when we clear all, we're setting these all to 0. I must have been using an older program, but you've got that in your program. You should be good to go with that. All right, let's talk about the other edits right here. Font. When we're going to edit the font, what we're going to do with the font is just some new code, and that's going to be based on utilizing our font dialog. So all that font dialog allows us to do is in code refer to it and have it do some things for us. So here's what goes in with the font dialog. I'm going to go with font dialog, and it's actually dialog 1 is the name of it on there. And now what a with statement does, and this should be review, A with statement allows me to not have to keep writing font dialog 1, font dialog 1, font dialog 1, and I'll explain that. The next line of code, I'm going to go dot show dialog. So that means really this line of code is now font log 1 show dialog. You can just start at the dot and don't have to retype this. So if you're going to have to type font dialog 1 do this, or for instance, if I was doing a whole bunch of things with txt pieces, rather than just clearing it, I could say with txt pieces dot, clear it, set the focus to it, set its text property to, change its font. I wouldn't have to keep writing txt pieces. So from there, we're going to go through all of our text boxes here and do some stuff with it. Every text box on there, we're going to allow it to change its font. So txt, I'm going to leave these errors for right now. txt, enter txt. I'm just going to get all of these listed ahead of time. txt, enter txt. Oops, I've got name twice, sorry. Back off that. txt after name pieces. txt after pieces total pay. These are just every text box on that form. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change their dot font to be equal dot font. Now remember, this dot font, this is the dot font that comes from our font dialog box, which you'll see in action. It's pretty cool. So this is that font dialog box is going to pop up. We're going to be able to adjust the font, and then this text box is going to be set to be that font, and so forth, so forth. So I'm going to just add that on to each of these. Oh, I needed to add on the dot font too. Darn it. All right, Control C. So this pay dot font, dot font, dot font, dot font, and dot font. Let's see if that works. Let's get some data in here. Need a name, need a number of pieces, need to calculate it, need to summarize it. That summary still doesn't work, need to summarize it. And now I'm going to go to edit font, and you'll see we get this font dialog pops up, and I'm going to say, well, right now I'm actually in a pretty big font. I'm going to change it to 11, I'm going to change it to bold oblique, and I'm going to change it to this guy. And I could underline it. We've got lots of options here. And I click OK. And there we have our new font, which is just hideous. Now that won't stay forever. You can go in and change it, and when the program starts again, it'll be set back to what it was. But I think you get the message. We got lots of nice, convenient options for us. So that is good. And now I'm going to go into the color, and what the color is going to change. The color is going to change, ideally, just the fonts of these. You could maybe do some other things with color as well, but the program wants us just to change the font in each of these text boxes. You will see there's going to be a bit of a challenge, I suspect, in that. So color, we're going to call the color dialog. And color tool strip menu, we are going to include this with color dialog. Try again with space, color dialog 1 dot show the dialog box, show dialog. And then we're going to just take all of those. Actually, I only set, we could use all of these again. But you'll find out the read-only text boxes that on the front, you can try those. They won't work. So all I'm going to put here is txt amount earned dot for color. That's the font, much like we did in an earlier quiz, equals dot color selected. And txt pieces dot for color equals dot color. And I'm going to do one of the other text boxes just to show you an issue. And I've tried to track this down. Total pay is one of our read-onlys. So I'm going to just go dot for color equals dot color. I believe that one is not going to work. And I've tried to track that down, and it appears to maybe be a bug in the program. It's a Microsoft issue. So let's take a look. Let's get some data in here. Joe, calculate, can't work. Calculate works. Summary can't work. Summary works. Let's go to edit. Let's go to color. I'm going to choose red so it's clear, and you will see this one worked. Maybe I don't think I put name on there. Let's check that out. Ooh, I should have done name instead of this one. Let's go txt name. Try this again. One of these times, as I said, I'm going to write a program and it's going to be golden. Joe, calculate, nope. Summary, nope. And you notice we keep doing that, but kind of trying to do that to emphasize. Let's go to edit, color, red. Got it. But this one, the pay, did not change to red. And if I summarize, can't summarize there. If I summarize, those aren't red. The read-only ones will not change. And it kind of makes sense that they wouldn't, but not really. Clear all works for us. We had a lag on that earlier. Again, the warning is not there for that, and you will be expected to have that because it was in your 4.6. I just used a version before I was complete to copy. So that does everything we want, except of course these are now extraneous. These aren't doing anything for us. This one, and this one. So I might be tempted to just kind of reorganize this a little bit. Try to keep it looking good. Maybe line that up with that. Take a little bit of time, have it look good. Things maybe I should change on the form. I should probably say that this is now 5.1, but I'm not going to save it as 5.1. As I mentioned earlier, that can create some little sticky issues at times. So if it's not done exactly right, so we'll just leave it in that folder that we created. Okay, so there's one that should be pretty quick for you. In fact, I suspect even if you weren't working along with this, you could get that done as quickly as I went through the explanation of it. So make certain that you're getting that one complete. That will be a graded assignment. We will check you off on that, and ask whatever questions you have. Good luck.